Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Katherine.Kelly, and I am bringing to you another thought about Soul Wisdom Wednesday. And the thought today is why it is good for our buttons to be pushed by others. What does that do for our soul? What does it do for our evolution? Now, when someone gets under our skin or twerks us or tweaks us or irks us or makes us frustrated or angry or whatever, when they push our buttons, we have to remember that it's our buttons that are being pushed and that it's about us. That is a cue from our soul, a cue from the universe, a cue from the collective consciousness that there is something for us to learn. We want to blame it on someone else. We want to put it off on someone else that they are making us upset. But really, it's our experience of being twerked or irked or upset that is there for us to learn from. And so there was something that happened last week that really kind of jolted me and got under my skin, and I knew I had to step back and look at what was that about? What was I supposed to learn? I've had several people this week coming in saying, "Oh my gosh, this happened," and it just threw me completely off, and how dare they? And we have to remember that we live in a hologram, our own personal hologram, and anything that comes in and out, anything that affects us is about our soul. It's about our evolution. It has nothing to do with whatever happened outside of us. It has to do with us. And so we have to take that internal inventory to say, okay, why is it easier for me to blame someone else than it is for me to learn and evolve from whatever I'm experiencing? Now, I've said this over and over again that our discomfort is what cues us or initiates a level of learning if we allow it. And I can't even imagine how many times in my life, if I look back, how many times I thought that someone else was doing something to me or something. And yeah, there's been people doing things to me, absolutely. But there's been times when I have taken it personally or I've victimized myself, whereas I realized that over time. These were learning experiences. These were opportunities for me to grow and evolve. And sometimes we forget that, our emotions, actually, most of the time we forget that our emotions are there to help us grow and evolve. I say in my book, Soul Health, all the time, especially in the psychological chapter, that anything that upsets us or gets us off of our mark is there to help us learn and evolve. There's a cue, there's something going on that is there to kind of jolt us awake or jolt us into a new awareness. And I'm bringing this up now because Mercury goes into retrograde on the 31st, which means we're already halfway through the upswing. And so anybody who's feeling super sensitive right now and super triggered or by others, or feeling like your buttons are being pushed, it's partially because Mercury is going to be back in retrograde again starting on the 31st. I think it goes out on November 20th, excuse me. And then we'll have another 3-week die-off after that. So I'm bringing this up because many of you are going to be feeling this sensitivity. Many of you are going to be feeling even more of irritability or triggerability by others. And I just want you all to be aware that, again, this is an opportunity. This is a time for you to work on your stuff. This is an opportunity for you to look at what is it that's triggering me? What is it that is trying to come to my awareness? And when this happened last week for me, I really was kind of like, geez, it was jolting. And it was one of those things where I had to really step back and go, what was this about? What was I supposed to learn? And actually, it's something that's going to very much help me in the future as far as a training that I'm going to be doing, or offering. And so, we have to kind of step back and realize that anything that triggers us, anything that pushes our buttons, anything that is there disturbing our quote peace is actually there for us to evolve beyond. We forget that because we want to victimize ourselves. We want to blame someone else. We want to feel like there's someone else to blame, someone else to put at the center of our world that is causing something. But really, it's the center of our world that we need to look at and really evolve beyond. We need to look at that. That's the only way conscious evolution works. That is conscious evolution, is to step back, look at what's going on, and learn from it. So I just wanted to nudge you forward right now about this, given again that Mercury is on the way. Mercury is that force, for those of you who aren't aware of it. But Mercury, the planet Mercury, goes into what they call retrograde, where it creates this gravitational pull for about 7 weeks with people. There's an upswing, and then there's a 3-week period of more intensity, and then there's kind of a die-off period where it's less intense. But you kind of have to think about it that, if you are triggered in the next 7 or 8 weeks, it is there to help you evolve. The universe tries to help us evolve through many, many forces, and Mercury is one of them. So I just wanted to kind of nudge you forward and let you know that this is coming, as well as to really pay attention to those buttons that are being pushed and use those as opportunities for your own evolution. So I'd love to hear from you. I am guessing that some of you are already feeling your buttons being pushed. And so I'd love to hear what's going on and how you're handling that and how you're learning from that. And so leave a message here. You can also go to my website at www.Dr.KatherineT.Kelly.com and sign up for my newsletter if you're not already on it. And then we can interact more as well. So just a little plug. I'm in the planning stages of some webinars for next year. One of them, Mercury goes back into retrograde in February. And I'm going to be doing a 1-hour webinar on how to survive Mercury and what it means and how to really use that for your evolutionary growth. I'm also going to be doing some webinars throughout the year about the soul and depression, and why, if we really look at the soul's part in our depression, we will get further. Same thing with anxiety, same thing with trauma, same thing with any other psychological kind of concern. I'm going to be doing some webinars next year that are going to help people understand that there's something bigger than the human condition that is at play when we're experiencing these things. So keep your eyes out for those. And if you want heads ups about that, go ahead and get on my website and get on my newsletter list, and then you will have immediate information about when those are available. So hope you have a wonderful day. Next time I speak with you next week, it will be right before Mercury goes into retrograde. So hang in there and watch those buttons and triggers as they're being pushed for you. Okay, have a great week. Bye-bye.